As a young child, I had a fascination with the news and world events and people, especially people. I often laid down, looking up at the sky, wondering who was looking at the same sky and what their lives were like. I wanted to meet people, help people, and I wanted to change the world. One night in my living room, though, when I was just 8 years old, I saw something horrible on TV that dulled my hopeful view of the world. It was footage of the genocide taking place in Rwanda. And if you've ever seen this footage, I'm sure it is burned into your memory as it is in mine. Over 800,000 people were brutally killed in just 100 days. 400,000 children left orphaned, and as many as 500,000 women violently raped, many who later found out they'd been infected with HIV. This atrocity weighed heavy on my 8-year-old self. I wanted to change the world, but I wondered how I could ever change this kind of world. And years later, I would get my answer. I was sitting in a political science class right here on the University of Waterloo campus, and we started talking about the root causes of the genocide. As we did, that footage played through my head over and over again, and I started thinking about what the present-day Rwanda was like. I didn't want to just fixate on the genocide alone. I wanted to see what happened after the genocide. So that day, after class, and actually every day for a week, I went to the library and did some research. And actually what I found on that first day brought me to tears in the corner of the library. At that time, Rwanda had almost reached parity of men and women in government, and actually in 2008, Rwanda would become the first country in the world to elect a female majority government. Women make up 55% of the workforce in Rwanda and own over 40% of businesses. There is now legislation for gender equality, and more girls are in school than ever before. I thought, what amazing progress for a country that experienced such a tragedy in my lifetime, in our lifetime. And that's when I realized that the how part of changing the world is women. Because as difficult as it was to move forward from the trauma and the pain, as impossible as it may have seemed to start rebuilding the country, the women of Rwanda did it. And that doesn't mean that it's perfect by any means. There are still challenges and hardships beyond what most of us can even imagine. But the government is up for the challenge. And in that week, I knew that I would spend the rest of my life working to support, inspire, and empower women. I think Rwanda's story is an important lesson for the world. Get women involved, get them off the sidelines, put more women into leadership positions. Women are the largest block of untapped catalysts for tomorrow. A better world means getting more women into business, government, and leadership positions. As Robert Zolek of the World Bank said, equality is not just the right thing to do, it's smart economics. You cannot progress as a country when you don't invest in over half of your population. Traveling to countries in Asia and Africa only strengthened my belief in women as the change agents who can shape a better world. The places that I visited had this vibrant energy that captured my heart, and I met so many entrepreneurs and hardworking people who we share more similarities with than we do differences. Woman after woman that I talked to told me the exact same thing. I just need an opportunity to succeed. If you want to be a catalyst for tomorrow, give someone an opportunity today, especially a woman, because she will reinvest 80% of her earnings back into her family and her community. I have 3 easy ways that you can play a part in the spirit of taking action. I'd like you to meet Lucy. Lucy is an entrepreneur who I invested in at kiva.org. You can invest in an entrepreneur for as little as $25. Lucy's a single mother with 3 children, and she uses her business earnings to cover her children's school supplies and books. Over 80% of Kiva's borrowers are women, and when you provide a loan to someone instead of giving a donation, you directly empower them to change their own life. Number 2, you can invest in the education of a girl, like these girls at a school in Nepal. One of the easiest ways that you can do that is by going to she'sthefirst.org, and you can spend as little as $100 sending a girl to school for an entire year. She then becomes the first in her family to graduate, giving her opportunities in her career and her life that she could only have dreamed of before. And 3, you can help save the lives of 1,000 girls and women who still die needlessly during pregnancy and childbirth every day. It should be a basic human right to safely bring a child into this world, and we need to change that. This here is Sabina. She's a 25-year-old woman in the Democratic Republic of Congo. In this photo, she's experiencing a painful miscarriage and losing a great deal of blood. The woman holding her is Colette, a community health care worker who was able to save Sabina's life. In too many places, though, there is not someone like Colette on hand in case of an emergency like what Sabina was experiencing. So if you go to the White Ribbon Alliance, they have a Take Action section where you can find out how you can help save the lives of these girls and women. The kid in me still wants to change the world, but the woman I've become understands that I don't have to do it alone. If you join me, and you join me, and you join me, we can invest in and change the lives of a group of women who can then invest in and change the lives of people in their families and their communities. We can make a difference. All of us in this room today are among the most fortunate and wealthy people in the world. Use that power. Do something that matters, and never, ever doubt the kid in you that still says you can change the world. Thank you.